Shalom, shalom, family. Peace, peace. Y'all climb on in her. Y'all climb on in. I see my queen in the building. Shalom, shalom. Paul Bateman, shalom, shalom. Donna Bell, shalom, shalom. We're a few minutes late today. Been working all day for real, getting all these orders done. So y'all know how that go. A lot of orders went out today, so a lot of people healing is on the way. Y'all climb on in. We got some things to talk about today. We're talking about vaginal reproductive health is wealth. And this is just for my sisters. Man, we've been getting a whole lot of fibroid cases, whole lot of female reproductive issues going on here. So I want to talk to my sisters today. All right. I haven't talked to my sisters in a long, long time. So y'all climb in here, brother, climb in here too, for y'all can help y'all queens out. I can help them on their path to healing. But yeah, talking to my beautiful sisters. Hey, vaginal reproductive health is wealth, y'all. We have to talk about it. Whole lot of cases of fibroids coming up in here. Whole lot of ovarian cancers, cases that we dealing with right now. Just a whole fallopian cancer. Just a whole lot of reproductive things are going on, all due to wacky hormones inside of the so-called black woman. So, and they say it's more prone to black women to get fibroids, to get ovarian cysts, get ovarian cancer, and et cetera, et cetera. So we never really dove real deep into it. I did a video probably like a year ago on fibroids. So I just want to really go into it and show y'all how y'all reproductive system works, how to keep it healthy, and if any type of obstructions or acids or tumors, benign tumors, atypical cell tumors, cellular mutation, anything that's going on, odors, STDs, urinary tract infections, anything that's going on with the female reproductive organ. If y'all got any questions, we most definitely will answer them for y'all. And I just want to shed some information and light on it. I know it probably sound weird coming from a black male. It's supposed to be a woman or none of that, but women is not really studying their bodies like they supposed to. So this is my profession, is what I do. So let's talk about it. Y'all climb on in. I'm gonna give a few more people a chance to climb in, and we're gonna talk about it. What is the reproductive system of the woman? What's going on with her fallopian tubes, her ovaries, her ectometrium, her mesometrium, all of it. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Let me give y'all some shout outs. Ken Warren, shalom, shalom. Yvette, shalom. Shani Durrett, shalom. Jay Storm, my brother, shalom. Fee Bill, shalom, shalom. From my hometown. STL, shalom, shalom. Carl Henry, Rashida Cox, Ambra, everybody in the building. Rosie, y'all climb on in here. Paul Bateman, my brother, y'all climb in. Y'all climb on in. Mina J, how you doing? Sade in the building. Y'all climb on up in here. All right, the first thing, I know, Ania, I know this your topic. If you want to join in on the chat, you most definitely can. All right, so the first thing I really want to do is J Bay, shalom, queen. First thing I really want to do is dive in on fibroids. We talked about this many times, but what is fibroids? How's fibroids created? And you can't talk about fibroids. You can't talk about anything to do with the vaginal, anything to do with the vagina, anything with the ovaries, anything to do with the fallopian tubes, anything to deal with the endometrium of the vagina wall, the canal. You can't even talk about that without first talking about the pituitary gland. When it comes to the woman, the most masculine gland and the most masterous gland on her body is the pituitary gland. And the reason why I say that is because the pituitary gland actually sends off signals to her reproductive system, such as her ovaries and her adrenal glands, and it gives them certain enzymes to let them know when they need to be bleeding, to let them know when they need to be urinating, to let them know when they need to ovulate, let them know when their vaginas need to get wet, let them know when their vagina is too dry. All this is due to the glandular highway inside their body. Now, the thing is how fibroids is truly created. All a fibroid is literally, it's called leiomyomas. Okay, leiomyomas, that's the clinical term for it. And all it means is smooth muscle tissue buildup. That's it. because when you actually get inside the cervix of a woman and you look where her cervix at, inside of the endometrium is smooth layers of muscles there. What these smooth layers of muscles are created for is when she gives birth, is to help her push out the baby. So this truly show you one of the main purposes Yahweh created women in the first place was to produce babies, to push out babies. That's why the first command was go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. All right, so if that's one of your main purpose in creation is to mother and straight give birth to nations and nations of humans, whether they be of any nation, all different nation of people came from the so-called black woman. I don't care if you white, brown, red, Japanese, Chinese, we can make up a nation. All of them came from the black woman. And that's the black woman, that's the so-called black woman, true main creation was to be that goddess and to actually birth all humans, all humankind. That's where you get the word Hawaii from. It means the mother of all living. So if that's one of your main purposes inside of this so-called holographic universe or this matrix or what we call this earth, your main concern need to be keeping it healthy and keeping it clean. Well, in order to keep the vagina and keep the reproductive system healthy inside of a woman, she must first clean her glandular highway, starting from the pituitary gland. What the pituitary gland produces is all these hormones and enzymes, and it holler at the adrenal glands and the ovaries. The ovaries produces something called estrogen. Now, you can look up estrogen. Estrogen is a steroid hormone. All right. Now, estrogen is a major part of building the woman. Estrogen levels controlled by the adrenal glands and the ovaries are what make your breast big. That's what make your breast small. That's what make you bleed heavy. That's what make you bleed slow. That's what keeps your vagina wet or make it dry. All while it's all depending on the level of estrogen that you have inside of your body that's being produced by your pituitary gland, your hypothalamus, and your adrenal glands, which is giving connective code and melanin neurotransmitters to your ovaries. So what is fibroids then? All fibroids is every month a woman go through ovulation, an ovulation period, right? Every month. All right. This ovulation period is for you to conceive. That's the whole point of the ovulation period, and that's the byproduct of your period, your periods when you have your menstrual. All right. So what happens is the pituitary gland holler at the adrenals, and the adrenals produces these steroids and these enzymes, and holler at the ovaries. The ovaries start literally producing estrogen. This estrogen is acidic in its nature. It's slightly acidic. I want y'all to know that just like testosterone is slightly acidic, but you have something called progesterone, which the women produces. This is your base chemistry. This is your alkaline chemistry. But the reason why you need estrogen is because estrogen actually builds up your muscle tissue. It connects to calcium. What else it connects to? It connects and controls of the uterine wall while you're on your periods. It regulates your menstrual. It actually thickens up the mucosa membrane inside the endometrium of your vagina, and then it actually helps produce that egg. So that's the reason why. But when your glandular highway is off balance, when your glandular highway is off because you're eating too many proteins, this is going to add to the estrogen production. You see that? When you drinking too much alcohol, this is going to add to the estrogen production. When you stressed out, this is going to add to the estrogen production. So the more and more you produce this estrogen, remember, this is a growth hormone, right? What it does is it connects to something called the MED12 gene protein molecule. Now, when it connects to this, what happens is you have a single cell inside of your so look, again, just like you have the endometrium, just like you have the mesoderm, the endoderm, and you have the ectoderm. You have the endometrium, the mesometrium, and the myometrium. Well, the myometrium is inside of your cervix, and they work as single cell organisms. So they only single cell. That's why they say when you catch fibroids, it's a benign tumor because it can't spread to any other cells because they isolate themselves, right? Now check this out. This is what estrogen does. When your body produces much estrogen through water you drinking, right? Through water, through a lot of soy products, through a lot of tofu, through a lot of proteins and meats, through a lot of beer, through a lot of funguses. You can even get this stuff from mushrooms. All of this actually help and more promote the estrogen inside of your body. Too much estrogen actually promotes growth hormones. Now, this growth hormone is supposed to be at a minimum because remember, it's a slightly acid nature. So it's supposed to grow your breasts. It's supposed to widen your pelvics and your hips for you to start bearing your children. That's why when you see a woman reaches her maturity, you see her hips widen. You see her breasts get large. You see her back straighten up. You see her get a little meat on her butt. All this is through the estrogen hormone. But every single month, you're supposed to bleed this dying hormone out. Well, if you're not bleeding it out, what happens is that the actual baby that's supposed to be created inside of you, which is not, because you was in an ovulation period, and then that didn't happen. This egg is supposed to die off, and you're supposed to bleed this out with all the other byproducts that were created in you having a baby. So with everything in life, you have to have a byproduct, y'all. Everything. So every month for at least 28 days. Everybody think the period only lasts for 5 days. That's 5 to 7 days. That's the blood literally on your menstrual like 16 to 20 days out of the month, y'all, to be honest with you. So it's a lot of hormones that contribute to this factor. It's a lot of steroids that contribute to this factor. It's a lot of acidosis that's built up in this factor. So you got all of these metabolic byproducts and waste. This is where your blood come from, because you got to drain all this stuff out because you never created a baby, right? Now, what do estrogen do? Estrogen stops producing itself, right? And it's supposed to die off, and it's supposed to go out with your blood, but it don't. What does it does? It actually feeds that myometrium that I was talking about, which is these single cells built up into the walls of the cervix. So it's feeding them, and now it's a growth hormone connected to it because the estrogen never left through the menstrual. So next thing you know, you see one cell connect with another cell, and it grows. You see another cell connect with another cell, and that cell grows. You see another cell connect with that cell, and that grows. Next thing you know, you have fibroids. You have fibroids. All of these is tumors inside of the vagina cavity, the uterus, the fallopian tubes, or sometimes even hang on the ovaries, y'all. Period. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. And it's made of proteins, steroid hormones, estrogen, and progesterone. Now, remember, I was telling you that estrogen is slightly acidic, right? So the more estrogen that you have in your body, the more acidic your body becomes. So there's been a lot of women coming to us lately where literally fibroids have welded themselves to the uterine wall. What is welding your meat suit together? What is welding cells together? Acidosis. If you stop taking the acids, you wouldn't get that welding-like structure. It was one lady, literally, she had fibroids so big, it welded itself to her small intestines. That's how big it is, and that's how hot it is. But that's showing you how acidic estrogen can be when you're producing too much of it, and you're producing too much of it from byproducts and stimulants as like sodas, French fries, the grease that they frying it in. McDonald's, half of their products got a lot of estrogen in it, and so on and so forth. So to break down these fibroids, the first thing you have to do is go completely alkaline. Completely alkaline. Period. Fruits, berries, melons, a few nuts, and some vegetables. Alkaline the body. And then you will start seeing your periods lighten up too, because that heavy menstruate is not even normal. A woman typically posts on her period for 7 days. But that 7-day period, she only supposed to produce little drops. Little drops. A normal period of a woman shouldn't even fill this shot glass. Like, it should be like this. That's how much blood you're supposed to see. Drops. It never lasts in 7 days. If you bleeding any more than that, you need to change your diet, because that means you have a lot of acidosis in you. You have a lot of acidic environment molecules inside of you. So the more you're bleeding, meaning the more things that you need to clean outside of your body. That's the reason why you're truly cleaning from the Endometrium of your cervix. If you look inside of the uterine wall and look inside the cervix, it's a mucosa lining called the ectometrium or the endometrium. Inside of that lining is where these eggs that never was fertilized go to. And then the lining catch it, and then it turns into a bloody red. It turns into a pinkish color, and then it drains the blood from it, and that's where you get the period from. That's why you see blood clots and stuff like that. Well, what formulate blood clots? Estrogen. You see that? What grows tumors? Estrogen. Notice that. Look at one of the main hormones that grow cancerous tumors. Estrogen. And estrogen is always have this best friend with it, which is arginine. It's an amino acid called arginine. Do you know if you have herpes, guess what causes the herpes outbreaks or causes the bumps, causes the swelling? Arginine. So you got estrogen, which is a slightly acidic hormone. Then you got an amino acid called arginine or med12 protein, which is, you know, proteins are complex amino acid structures, and you're not getting it out of the body. So what they're doing is they're growing, and then they bar your blood supply, and then they weld themselves to the endometrium side of your cervix. Now you're growing big old benign tumors, which they say isn't cancerous, but guess what it is? It's a mutated cell. All mutated cells are cancers, all of it. So now you got low iron because it's sucking all the iron phosphate out of your blood and it's growing bigger and bigger. Now you got low calcium because estrogen binds with calcium and binds with magnesium to grow your bones. But it's pulling calcium from everywhere out of your whole entire body because calcium is one of your main alkalizers. You see that? So now these fibroids is taking all your phytonutrients, is chewing and eating on your blood supply and suffocating cells. You see that? Suffocating your cells. And it's all mutation going on inside of these things. These things are not non-cancerous. All tumors are cancerous. All it is a mutation cell, a damaged cell. That's what cancer is. All because you're producing too much estrogen. You're not letting your glandular highway produce it naturally. You're eating things that's full of it. And an overload of estrogen is very acidic in nature because it's always slightly acidic. Just like your urine naturally is always supposed to be slightly acidic, the same way as estrogen is and the same way as testosterone. Now you growing these tumors, and these tumors are full of smooth muscle tissue, full of proteins, full of steroid hormones, full of estrogen and progesterone. And that's literally how they grow. That's literally how they grow. What symptoms do you have to bleed for a long time? And you do bleed, you bleed very heavy, and your cramps feel like you're dying, or you're not bleeding enough at all. You have a period for one day, and that's it. Everybody think that's a good thing. That's a bad thing. Or it be together where you bleed for one day, then 5 days later you come on a full-blown menstrual cycle, and you're like, what the hell is going on with the stomach pains? You see that with hemorrhoids and all other types of stuff. Because what we remember, what we're dealing with, we're dealing with glands that actually control and regulate the hormone for you to have a period, for your vagina to get wet when you get horny. You see that? For your ovaries to ovulate and produce the egg. All of this is due by way of the adrenal glands, the hypothalamus gland, and what? The pituitary gland. And that's why your emotions be all out of whack. What controls memory? What controls you being happy, sad, and all of these other different things? That is your master gland, which is your pituitary gland. Well, what the pituitary gland governs? The next thing it governs is the thyroid. The thyroid is where your calcium comes from. You see that? That's why when you got fibroids and it takes all the calcium, now your parathyroid can't even produce and convert the calcium no more because it's feeding these tumors. And that's why when you're on a period, you all out of whack. You don't know what to do. You emotionally unstable because your emotions is governed by your glandular highway. You see that? So that's how it works. What do you think about tubes being tied? I don't think you should never tie your tubes. Why would you tie your tubes? What would be the purpose of that? And then do you realize you still can get pregnant with your tubes tied? Now they got to go in and they got to open them tubes and then suck out the dead embryo. So even though your tubes tied, that's not going to stop you from being pregnant. Now that will stop the baby from developing properly, but whether that baby is an embryo or whether that baby is a blastocyte, it's still an intelligent entity. We just don't see the form it takes yet, but it's still intelligence. We have to remember that. So I don't think we should be touching. We shouldn't be doing nothing that God didn't create already. We shouldn't be doing surgeries. We shouldn't be cutting things off. We shouldn't be letting them take doing hysterectomies. Y'all letting them take all of y'all ovaries, taking everything out. Do y'all realize once you take them ovaries, your whole entire glandular highway is out of whack because your ovaries is what produces estrogen, progesterone, a little bit of your testosterone. I mean, most of your melanin neurotransmitters, your epinephrine, your neuroepinephrine, all of these are bypasses by the ovary from what? The adrenal glands. So when you start letting them take out all your glands and your reproductive organ, you got to remember that's what make you a woman. Your reproductive organ is what make you a goddess, because you have something that nobody else have on planet Earth, that you can give birth to nations and nations of people, whether they're yellow, black, brown, or white. That's the very, very reason Yahweh created you, for you can go forth and be fruitful and multiply. So when you let them touch and mess with that, they literally touching with your very purpose, y'all. Period. And that's why fibroids is so dangerous. That's why ovarian cancer is so dangerous, because it's literally threatening the very reason and purpose that you was put here in this earth in the first place. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some 9. Get what I'm saying so far, type some 9. Be good. My wife feels dizzy when she stands. She feels unbalanced. It can be a lot of reasons why she feel dizzy. If she ain't wearing no mask all day, if she ain't wearing no mask on her face all day, dizziness comes from the lack of oxygen. So that's the reason why I asked that question. All praises. So y'all get what I'm saying. All right, so somebody humor me. What is fibroids made of? What is fibroids made of, y'all? Tell me. A lot of my sisters are going through this stuff. What are fibroids made of? I just told y'all. Fibroids is made of what? Complex proteins, steroid hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and something called the MED12 protein, which is connected to estrogen and arginine. That's why as soon as you start eating things with arginine and you got herpes, you start popping canker scars and pimples, and I mean outbreaks come everywhere, because that's that protein arginine. That's what grows things. Arginine is a very, very good amino acid, but it grows things. I don't want arginine in my system while I got cancer. I grow tumors everywhere. I sure don't want it if I got benign fibroids in my vagina cavity, because I'm gonna grow them everywhere. You see that? I sure don't want arginine in my system while I have herpes. I'm gonna stay with outbreaks. So now what actually turns down, turn off, and shrink these things and stop the growth hormone and stop growth hormones? Something called L-lysine. L-lysine. So people that actually have fibroids, my sisters, you got fibroids, you need to be high on lysine. You need to be high on calcium. You most definitely need to be high on things that have a lot of progesterone in it. Because what progesterone does, progesterone is what actually stops estrogen and makes you have your periods for your body cleanse itself. Progesterone is completely alkaline. It's actually the conversion of estrogen to progesterone or progesterone that the body actually needs. All right. So once the ovaries and the pituitary and the hypothalamus gland start producing this progesterone by way of the adrenal glands, notice your periods start flowing easy. You see that? Notice that the thyroids start shrinking themselves. Notice that if you do have herpes, you don't have that many outbreaks, because these things stop the growth. These things stop the growth. That's why progesterone and L-lysine can be very, very bad sometimes too, especially if you're trying to grow things, because they shut off the pituitary gland from hollering at the adrenal glands to send out the growth hormones and tell the body to do what it needs to do. You see what I'm saying? Periods is so important, y'all. Your periods is important. A lot of y'all getting on birth control, which you ain't supposed to be on anyways, because your body was literally made to produce babies. Why would you want to stop that? That's why that birth control, what it does, it stops your period, because it's full of what? It's full of a whole lot of estrogen, too much estrogen. Once that estrogen starts producing itself, then it stops all of a sudden. What happens is that egg, it realizes that it's not fertilized. Then all of a sudden it stops, and then your blood starts to flow from the endometrium part of the cervix. That's where the blood come from. And all these are dead cells that wasn't utilized by the ovaries, because every month your body want to reproduce itself. Every month. Notice you don't ovulate on purpose. You ovulate by itself, showing you that your body badly want to reproduce children. Your body want to do it so bad that every month you go through something called an ovulation period. You don't even have to control that. Guess what controls that? Your autonomic nervous system. Well, what controls the autonomic nervous system? The parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. The adrenal glands. These are all adrenal glands problems, y'all. All of these are all pituitary gland problems. You see that? A messed up pituitary, guess what? The vagina don't get wet. Why is that? Because estrogen is not being produced enough. But if it's producing too much, the vagina get very, very dry. Y'all see that? Well, what else estrogen does? It actually thickens the layer of the cervix and the vagina cavity. That's where you get tight vagina from. Don't no man want no loose vagina. Well, guess what makes it tight? Estrogen. But guess what makes it loose? And that will eat away at the mucosa lining that makes that wall thick. Too much estrogen. So it has to be that proper balance, because too much estrogen grows shit. It just start growing fibers and tumors and benign tumors everywhere on the cervix, the fallopian tube, breast, and the breast. Even your breast is directly connected to your vagina. That's how important your reproductive system is. It literally governs your whole body, woman. It literally do. And I'm not saying that you was created just to be a walking vagina, but if you look at what all the other things in the glands in your body does, it's literally all goes to aid into be phytonutrients to your reproductive organ, showing y'all that truly, truly, truly one of the main reasons that y'all were created was to reproduce. So-called black woman, flat out. Because everything inside your body, even the way your cells utilizes its glucose, is all for your reproductive organ. That is deep. And look, I'm not making this stuff up. All you have to do is just start studying this stuff. But when you start producing too much of these hormones, and then you're not making it no better by going to these different stores and eating all these supplements, eating McDonald's, eating trash ass food, drinking trash water, being in bad relationships, then the stress producing all this cortisol and this adrenaline, all these things start producing too much estrogen. All right, and these growth hormones is not being utilized in the proper way, which is for your breasts and for your pelvis and for your hips and for your ovulation. So what it does is it start growing things inside of your cervix wall, because it's a growth hormone connected to arginine, which is a growth amino acid structure, y'all. And then it's very acidic in nature. So meaning, and then you feeding your body more acids and more acids. Then y'all come to me and be like, well, look, brother, they said that my ovaries was actually had a benign tumor on it that have been melted or been welded to my fallopian tube. And I'm like, man, you realize how hot that be? How hot and how acidic you have to be in nature for your reproductive system to literally weld itself on to another part of your reproductive system. Only thing that binds things together in chemistry is acidosis. You see that? Whenever you really get into the base of chemistry and the alkalinity of chemistry, it keeps everything separate for everything can flow easy due to the interstitial fluids of the cell. When you're rolling down a river, or what we call interstitial fluid, you don't want things heavy that's going to sink you and bring you down. You want to be light as possible for you can flow with ease. The body is not made to be binded up. You see that? That's how people in wheelchairs. That's what you see how old people or in nursery homes, they all bind it up. That's systemic acidosis. That's what's causing these fibroids and these tumors inside of your reproductive system. You see that? And not only that, these things give off smells and they reek. So even though you're still having periods on them, remember all of that glomulation and all these dead muscle tissue cells are still borrowing all the phytonutrients from your blood, but it's dead cells. That's the reason why you bleeding in the first place, because you have to create that flow to get all that glomulation out. So now it brings bad odors. It brings all types of stuff. It literally starts messing up your reproductive system, and then it eats through your vaginal cavity and your vaginal wall because it's full of acidosis. So now you got other problems going on. Now you don't have no iron phosphate. You're very, very anemic. You have bad headaches. You got bad, sharp pains going on with you. Vaginal dryness. You can't get it wet no more. All these due to this estrogen and these fibroids are what's going on with the reproductive hormones due to your ovaries, your hypothalamus, and your pituitary gland. And I'm going to always throw in the thyroid and the parathyroid because that's directly connected to all of that. Even the glands inside of your breast, all of these things are connected to your reproductive organs and was made to govern your reproductive organ, because the reproductive organ on the so-called black woman is one of the main reasons Yahweh created, period. Yeah, them things, y'all. Acids and them things that eat you up, they will eat you up, they will eat you alive, y'all. So now we have a lot of women. I mean, don't we get a lot of women with fibroids? For real. Look,
it's like everybody has fibroids.
Say that again.
Everybody has fibroids.
Now, why do everybody have fibroids? Why is that? Why are y'all growing all these tumors inside of y'all vagina and on your fallopian tubes? And notice how sinister this is. It only attacks your reproductive organ. Y'all don't think this shit is a biological weapon? Huh? Y'all don't think they putting these high levels of estrogen in your water and in your soda pops and in your burgers and in your bread, your yeast? Y'all think they just doing it for no reason? Huh? They're trying to keep you from reproducing black kings. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. And notice how the food trick you and does you. You be cool and you do not start growing these fibroids until you get pregnant. Notice that, because when you get pregnant is when your pituitary gland releases the most estrogen, because it want to grow the baby. That's when your adrenal glands start pushing the melanin neurotransmitters. That's when that's adrenal Brad and not true. I don't know what you're talking about, but anyways, but that's when your adrenal glands start moving the melanin neurotransmitters and you start sharing this amino acid called arginine. It's actually to grow the baby. So that's when most of these fibroids are really produced, is when you start getting pregnant, y'all. It's when you start getting pregnant and they have all complications. And then look, we done seen some the size of a watermelon where the woman walk around like she's pregnant and you think it's a baby, but the whole time it's a straight tumor. And they grow teeth, they grow hair and everything. Grow eyes, right. And it's straight a tumor turning into a life force. Is fibroids the same thing as a cyst? Yes, they're the same thing. Fibroids, cysts, size, tumors, there is no difference. They all the same thing. All the same thing, my sister. They all the exact same thing. Only thing about a fibroid, the fibroid usually grow outside of the cervix or right inside of the cervix. Cysts usually grow in the ovaries or around the fallopian tube. But it's all a growing mutational mass of tissue. And it's always the smooth muscle cells. But all of them are the same thing. And notice when you pop them open, what's inside of them. As soon as you pop one of these cysts or these fibroids and tumors open, you see a lot of mucus. That's because literally the Endometrium of your cervix is a mucus lining. That's how you have period. That's the mucus draining. The only reason why you're seeing blood come from it is because you're shedding shells from your endometrium inside of the cervix. These shells have blood in them. Remember, your body is made of 150 trillion cells, but it's only dealing with two fluids, blood and lymph. Not only blood and lymph, but you have nerve endings inside of each cell. So whenever these dead cells start shedding themselves, and then the estrogen stop flowing, then that's when you see the blood come. And notice when you see them blood clots, these are literally thick cells built up with estrogen and protein and something called MED12 protein inside of them. That's where you get them thick agglomerated blood clots from. That is full of dead tissue cells, dead muscle cells. It's full of proteins, steroid hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and MED12 protein and arginine. That's why, and that's what that heavy bleeding is. It's what it is. And iron phosphate and a lot of globin is in that stuff too. A lot of globin is in that stuff too. Is y'all understanding everything I'm saying? Okay. Okay, and I know who you was talking to. I'm like, no. Talking to Miss Barden. Thought you was talking about me. I'm like, no, they most definitely ain't true. I'm like, yeah, whatever. If y'all understand everything I'm saying, type in some names and then I can start answering some questions. And I want to give y'all some herbs too, some very, very good herbs. Whenever you're struggling with that, whenever you're struggling with these, yes, the 3 bitters will help tremendously, Maya. The 3 bitters will help tremendously. Because guess what the 3 bitters are high in? Progesterone. And progesterone and lysine is the only way to truly shrink fibroids and cysts and tumors, y'all. Because remember, arginine, remember y'all, arginine and estrogen and testosterone grow these things, period. So if you truly want to get rid of them, first thing you have to do is rebalance the glandular highway. You got to rebalance them. What happens is, imagine this. Imagine if you taking supplements, right? And supplements, what a supplement is isolated chemistry. All right. So progesterone must always be connected with estrogen, always, for it to be balanced properly. But when you put it inside of soda pops and you put it inside of baked breads and potato chips, which is very high end, no, I shouldn't see no black woman, so-called black woman, eating certain Doritos and potato chips because it's very, 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 very high in acidic estrogen. And these are isolated chemistry. This is isolated. I'm not talking about in its natural form. When it's in its natural form, it's connected to its sister, which is progesterone. That's when it's balanced, right? That's when it's balanced and you're not going to grow things abnormally. What y'all think is happening to all of these males that's growing titties? It's straight little boys with full-grown tits. What is happening? It's all the estrogen and damn soy that's in his food and in his water. The same estrogen that's making you grow fibroids on your cervix and making you develop tumors in your breast is making men develop full-grown breasts. Why y'all think men are so out of shape and heavy around the mid-range now? This is that estrogen. They putting this shit in everything, y'all, literally. And look what it's doing to our bodies. Because our body already produces it naturally. But when it produces these things naturally, it's connected to something called progesterone. Progesterone keeps it balanced. Remember, whenever it's acidic, whenever you see a proton, it needs an electron. Proton, estrogen. Electron, progesterone is going to borrow some of its positive charge and it's going to neutralize itself. That's what needs to happen in chemistry. So if you're growing these things, yes, the growth. So if you're growing these things, the only thing that you truly have to do is stop drinking soda, stop eating all these refined sugars, stop eating bleach white flours, get off the wheat, period. You want to get you some bread, make sure you make your own bread at home. Let it be kamut. What else we got? Spelt, teff, and all these other things. You see what I'm saying? And stay off the soda pops. Do not be at McDonald's because they have a whole lot of estrogen in all of their products. These fast food restaurants, stay off of that. Get on fruit, berry, and melon diet, y'all. And you can even have salads. You can even have you some salads. You can have you some other vegetables. But just make sure you get off all of these processed foods and eat this stuff naturally. Stay far away from meat and protein as possible until if you want to go back to the meat, which I would never recommend, but if you want to go back to it, cool. But make sure that the fibroids and all of these tumors are gone first, right? And stay away from things that are high in arginine. High in arginine, for instance, like you can't have full-grown fibroids and then be eating avocados every day. Avocado full of arginine, full of it. You can't have it and be eating coconut shavings. Coconut meat is full of arginine. These things grow you. These things make you bigger. You see what I'm saying? And then you need herbs that's full of progesterone. So I wrote down a few for y'all. Chase berries. Chase berries. Do we got chase berries back there? Go get them. Chase berries are very, very good, and it will straight help you. It will help you shrink your fibroids. It'll help you shrink your tumors, your cysts, and it will help you properly regulate your menstrual cycle. Get the chase berries. Another one is nopal cactus. The cactus family is very good because even Angus cactus, nopal cactus and Angus cactus are very good. Make sure you're using it in the powder form. This is very, very good for your fibroids. And barberry root, very, very good for fibroids. See this? These are chase berries. I mean, look, this stuff is literally full of progesterone, naturally full of it. I don't have to isolate the chemistry and put it in a pharmaceutical laboratory and put a laser to it and put too much alcohol in it and separate and isolate the molecules. That's going to hurt you. So I have y'all dealing with what y'all dealing with now. And the moment that you isolate the chemistry and you start giving yourself all the progesterone by these doctors to shrink these things, because that's what they do. They give you progesterone pills first, and then they offer surgery. Notice what happens. Your pituitary gland and your adrenal glands just sit back and stop producing it. They'll Glandular Highway like, well, why should I produce it if you already bringing it in through an outside source? And this is what kills your adrenal glands. This is what kills your whole integral gland. It's because you're introducing outside isolated glandular hormones and steroids. And it shuts your whole Glandular Highway down from producing these hormones and steroids. You see that? We should never be going outside of our natural chemistry to take other chemistry that this beast done made for us. All of this, look, all of these things were created literally to target y'all wounds for y'all cannot reproduce. And they killing us the same way with this stuff and we being more feminine off of it. Do you realize estrogen make you feminine? That's why men are not supposed to eat a lot of soy products, because it is high in estrogen. It make you feminine, it grow you boobs, it mess with your voice box. You start sounding like a woman. You see what I'm saying? It widens hips. So now we got men out here with big butts and wide hips, with breasts. Is they gay? No. Do they look weird? Yes, because their diets, what they eat. This food is jacking us up, y'all. So you have to detox. The best way to do that, man, for real, is an all fruit diet. If you can't handle all the fruits, make sure that you go on a fruit in a base chemistry diet, like romaine lettuce. You can have you a few kale. Don't eat too much of the kale. Very hard to down in the digestive system, but you got to completely get away from the acids. Have to completely get away from the acids. Estrogen that's produced by your pituitary gland in its natural state is slightly acidic. The reason why it's slightly acidic, because you have the alkaline base electron progesterone connected to it. Whenever you take it in isolation chemistry, when they isolate this molecule and put it in the foods that we're eating, it's completely acidic. This stuff, it will go in your body and act like it's the real thing, and it's not. So when it builds up inside of that cervix, it start growing shit. Now you got tumors, you got benign tumors, you got fibroids, you got all types of stuff growing in your reproductive organ area. Y'all see how that go? All right, so look, anybody got questions? If y'all got any questions, I really wanted to talk about that. And we're gonna make this a series. We're just gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about all the disease that women are prone to, all so-called disease that women are prone to. And the reason why I call it so-called disease, because I don't believe in disease. I believe in cause and effect. All right. That's why after Mashiach Christ Yahushua healed you of your sins, he said, go forth and sin no more, and you will heal from your illusion, your disease. It's cause and effect. The body way of healing itself is not a disease, y'all. A tumor is not a disease. That's isolation. That's when, look, all a tumor is when all of these cells inside of your body start clicking onto each other. So what happens? Life try to grow and form everywhere. So you got life, it borrows on your blood supply and it grows. It grows. It don't know, it grows teeth, it grows hair, it grows eyes. Your body's trying to look for life anywhere it can find it at. All a cold and flu-like symptom is a detoxification mechanism of your body trying to heal itself. So it's trying to get rid of all the mucus erosion, all the mucinoid plaque and mucus buildup. You see what I'm saying? All the fever is your body trying to create circulation inside of your blood to bring more oxygen to each cell in your body. See that? Inflammation, the same thing. It's to actually bring circulation. So all of these different names, these doctors putting it on and calling it diseases, inflammatory, Moses, and all these other different names, they're not diseases. It's your body trying to heal itself. But hey, y'all don't believe a black man. Y'all need to hear it from somebody else that don't look nothing like you for you to believe it. And that's our problem. That's the reason why our women are suffering and going through what they're going through. And it's the reason why our males are suffering, going through what they're going through. And we think we know what's going on, and we're getting taught by our oppressors. Do you think your oppressors want you to heal yourself? Do you think the ones that's making money want you to be lively and living with longevity? They're making dollars and get billions and trillions of dollars off you being sick? Hell to the no. So why are we going to these same people and letting them teach us and educate us about our bodies, which they know nothing about? We are foreign chemistry to them. Foreign chemistry. We're not even from Earth, y'all. We just be letting them tell us what's going on with us instead of us researching, getting clinics, and looking at this stuff for ourselves. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. All right, so what we got here? Let me start answering some questions. All right, first question I see. Odelia said, avocados is my weakness. Yeah, whenever you're going through stuff like that, stay away from them avocados. Avocados grow things. Avocados remind me of shaved grass. It'll grow things because it's full of arginine. And arginine it just grows stuff. It's a growth hormone. It's a growth, estrogen is a growth hormone. Arginine is a growth amino acid. All right, hold on. So first question is from Isis Swan. Tease, I think I said that right. What does it mean to have cloudy, watery fluid coming from your breasts? It depends on if you're pregnant now You might produce your milk. But if not, you need to wash that because that is lymph and that's mucus. But that's a good thing that is leaving the body. What you can do is do yourself a breast massage and get all that leaky excess fluid outside of there. But usually when it's white and fluid looking like that, that's what you call settlement. And all that settlement is broken down cellular tissue. So if you're not breastfeeding, if you're not pregnant and producing any type of milk and stuff like that, and you seeing that water retention inside of your breast like that, that is most definitely lymphatic drainage. Drain them. Look, the thing about the body naturally heals itself. Any opening is going to drain. For instance, we was dealing with a cancer patient not too long ago, and a few of them, and they was developing so many big old boils on their bodies, and the boils would pop open, and it would just drain that fluid that you're talking about right now. That's because they was cleansing, and all it needed an out. It needed an outway. The lymphatic system wasn't cleansing itself enough, so it found the only out it could, and that was the oil, but and then drain out itself that way. See, foreign chemistry will not stay in your body long if you just go through your detoxification healing crisis. What we do is we think that our detoxification healing crisis is disease because that's what these lying-ass doctors have taught us. So we go to them and they give us things to suppress our body from naturally healing itself. So don't go to the doctor and tell them to stop your breast from leaking. You try to get it leaking more. Get your lymphatic system up and moving more. Open up your kidneys for you can start filtrating a lot, for you can get all that metabolic byproduct out through your urine, through your urination. You see that? Get the adrenal glands back online, your autonomic nervous system and your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system back up and running by way of the adrenal glands, so you can have the right melanin neurotransmitters telling the body what to do. Because the adrenal glands is all the pump to the kidneys. The kidneys cannot filtrate without the pump being cut on, just like you can't filtrate your fish tank without the pump being connected to it. But what is the pump to the kidneys? The adrenal glands. You see that? So make sure that you're getting all of that stuff up out of there. Get it all out and go to have giving something that will suppress it or stop it, because the body needs the body. Look, this is very, 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 very vital, y'all. The body have to eliminate its metabolic cellular waste. That is how all of us is dying. Everybody died from kidney failure. If it's not trauma, if it's not ejectile, and you have to be ejected from your body, like getting shot in your head, or like getting, what just happened? My bad, y'all. My daughter called me. Like getting shot in your head, or get into a head-on collision and you projectile from the. See, that's called ejection. That's when the body ejects itself out. Any other death, other than a violent death like that, is usually from the renal shutting down, the kidney shut down. In cancer cases, how do people die in cancer cases that get this chemotherapy treatment from cancer? The kidneys completely shut themselves down. How do AIDS patients die in an AIDS ward? Full of mucus, full of stagnant lymph, interstitial fluid just backed up, and the cells literally suffocate themselves. The kidneys stop eliminating. Look, your kidneys stopping eliminating is the #1 cause of death to the so-called black man. Let's just keep it real. Why do you think there's a dialysis center on every damn corner of this earth in our neighborhoods? Notice you don't see this in the Caucasians' neighborhoods. You don't see this in China. You see this dealing with us. Huh? Guess what COVID is? COVID-19, SARS disease mixed with AIDS strands. The first thing it does is shut down what? The respiratory system. Well, why does it shut down the respiratory system? Because it attacks the adrenal glands, which controls the respiratory system. The adrenal glands is control of the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. Do you have to think to breathe? No, you don't. If you have to think to breathe, you have a problem. You see that? That's the adrenal glands. Well, what is the master glands over the kidneys? The adrenal glands. Even this COVID is targeted towards our kidneys. You see that? These are biological weapons aimed towards our kidneys and our adrenals. Man, I don't think y'all really understand me. This is some deep stuff, y'all. So yeah, look, let that water drain. What you need to get you some milk thistle. Most definitely get you Get a small amino acid therapeutic package from me. You need my amino acid therapeutic protocol if you're not pregnant. I haven't seen your other comments. If you're not pregnant, that's most definitely lymph finding a way up out of your body. Unless you producing milk out of your milk duds and you getting ready to feed a baby. If that's not the case, then you most definitely need to keep that draining. But it could be growing tunes, cyst, anything on the glands that's inside of your breast. So make sure you keep them draining. And one thing I wouldn't do if I was you, I would not go nowhere and have them give me something that's going to suppress my body from eliminating metabolic waste. All right. Any more questions? Let's see. I know I'm long-winded, y'all. I could talk for days about this stuff, so forgive me. So forgive me. Let's see. We got polylyric cysts. What do I suggest for polylyric cysts? Autumn B. What you need for real is what I just said. You most definitely, you have to get off of all these acid dominated foods. You're gonna have to get away from all of these estrogen foods, estrogen-based foods, because remember it's slightly acidic. You need to get on an all-alkaline diet. For you, I do a 12-day grape fast, and then from that grape fast, I'll be on nothing but fruits, berries, and melons until these things start breaking up. The only thing that breaks up cysts, the only thing that breaks up cells welding themselves due to acidosis, what breaks these things up is hydration, y'all. Well, the good thing about hydration is full of electrolytes. That's the whole point of spring water. It's full of hydration and minerals, electrical minerals. That's the only thing that's going to break up tumors, that's going to break up things. Water. That's why you use water. Look, in a mop bucket, if you spill something on the floor, right? Spill on the floor and it's real sticky. What you gonna use to get it up? Water. Because water breaks up agglomulation. Water breaks up binded chemistry. So you need to hydrate your body, and you need some herbal chemicals. You need some herbal remedies inside of you that's going to act like the same chemicals that you put in that mop bucket when you're mopping your floor to help bring that electricity in there to get things moving and broken up more quickly. So the first thing you need to do is hydrate the body. Make sure you're on an all grape diet. Do that for like 12 days. Then go on your fruits, berries, and melons until this cyst is gone. Most definitely stay away from anything with arginine in it. Make sure you stay away from anything that got a lot of protons in it, or what we call proteins, because proteins is very, very acidic in nature. They're very destructive, and they will kill you. So stay away from the proteins. Get off all meats. Get off all the polysaccharides like grains and quinoa. You don't even need to be on none of that, because these are polysaccharides. They're mini sugars. Even though they're alkaline, they're very, very mucus forming when you eat too much of it. So you have to start draining. You need to start cleansing. The best purification on planet Earth other than fire is water. So make sure you hydrate yourself with Oreo, which is your fruit, berries, and your melons. Holler at me. What I would do for you is my week 1 and 2 amino acid therapeutic protocol. That is what you need. Get them kidneys opening up, and make sure you focus on kidney filtration. Once you start seeing that same watery fluid that Isis was talking about, that she's seen coming from her breast, you need to be seeing that inside your urine. You need to be seeing that dark, white, cloudy settlement that falls to the bottom of that glass, or to the bottom of that commode when you urine in the morning. That means that you are filtering right and you're getting rid of your metabolic waste. The main success and key to healing is opening up the kidneys for kidney filtration. Y'all, I cannot explain it enough. The only way your body can eliminate its metabolic waste and its cellular waste and cellular toxins is the kidneys. The kidneys by way of the adrenal glands, and the skin, which is the third kidney, by way of respiration and sweating. That's why it's good to sweat. It's good. Run. Get you a thermal hoodie. Run. Just sweat. Go to a sauna, not an infrared sauna, but an actual naturally steamed sauna. Sweat. These are things that's going to get rid of all that metabolic waste. It's going to get rid of all the products due to your progesterone. Get rid of all the products due to your estrogen. Do you realize just by me moving, me being in motion, I'm literally creating systemic acidosis, because for every action, there's a simple and opposite, polar opposite and equal reaction. So by me moving, things are going to start burning because I'm moving. You see that? That's how your body works. So your cells, just by you being alive, your cells are going to have to produce a byproduct or a bicarbonate. These byproducts and bicarbonates are acidic in nature. And that's the reason why you have a whole urethra system, a whole urinary tract, and kidneys, and lymphatic vessels, lymphatic veins, lymph nodes, and a whole interstitial fluids, for you can pathway eliminating all this waste byproducts. Period. We are dying because we are backed up lymphatically, y'all. We are cellularly constipated. We're constipated. Our cells are literally suffocating and dying of mucus, y'all. Milk is just sitting on our cells, just sucking the life force out of it. Then it leaves a glucose ash burn on it. This glucose turns into putrefaction, and then it breaks down the cell into mitosis. Then the cell goes through an uncontrollable mitosis division, now cellular apoptosis, which come from apocalypse, meaning that it's self-destruct. Now the body is dying. All because what you putting in your body, what you eating, your environment, the relationships you in, the music you listening to. You see that? The people that's hanging around you. The food that you like white sugar, white flour, bleached white flour, white rice. All that white is bad for you. You need stuff with melanin in it. That's going to bring melatonin, serotonin. That's going to bring life to the body. Is y'all understanding what I'm saying? Type in some nines. Am I being too long with it? You know I get to talking, boy. We can do more. All right, who else we got? All right, we got Autumn B out the way. What this say? It says, this is Vivian Williams. I need to place an order, but I can't get approved for an account. When did you place the account? Usually every 48 hours I go through. Don't go, one of them will go through and we approve all of this stuff, y'all. So if you have an actual readable signature and you put your full name in there, if you gonna put your first name, you ain't gonna put your last name, but your signature look good, I'm not gonna accept you. If you put your first name and last name and your signature don't look good, I ain't gonna accept you. If your signature do look good and I can read it, but you don't put no name, you just put your email address, I'm not gonna accept you. The only way to get approved on this site, the government been after me, y'all, for healing. They've been after me. I'm tired of my accounts being frozen up. Them playing with thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm cool on all of that. So that's the reason why we created a private health club, y'all. That way the things we talk about, we can talk about it between you and I. Y'all sign all the contracts and they can't touch us when we like that. So if you want to get approved for a private member, you have to list your government name, not your Hebrew name, your government name. And that's going to be good for y'all too. It's good for y'all to list government name and change government name by them, and then don't even do it. I enter your government name first and last. Make sure you got you got an email account and you click every dot. You have to sign all them contracts. So you got to click every dot that's on there. Then after that, I need a readable signature. If it's readable and everything check out, we will approve y'all. All right. If it look like it's some nonsense, if I think you an agent, if I think you a doctor that's trying to bullshit us and 1, 2, 3 us, because there's a few doctors that's up in there that we do accept. Do y'all realize we actually teaching doctors, y'all? It's a lot of doctors that follow us too. That love our work, but it's a lot of doctors that want to see me fall too. So you might be an agent, you might be an FDA agent, and they're pretending to be one of the Hebrews. You can be anybody. So I have to have all the information to approve you. You take up 48 hours, y'all. All right. Hopefully I answered that question for you, Vivian Williams. All right, what else we got? Gideon said, what is horsetail used for? Go give me that horsetail. So what horsetail is used for is to grow muscle. Horsetail and shaved grass is the same thing, family. Okay, y'all write that down in y'all book, especially my herbalists. Horsetail and shaved grass is the same thing. Horsetail is very, very good for hair growth. Horsetail is very, very good for muscle production. Horsetail is very, very good for cleaning out the lower bowel duct. Horsetail is very, very good for calcium. It's full of calcium triphosphate. See that? So, and go give me some calcium triphosphate. Give me the capsules and give me the tinctures if we got some. This is horsetail right here, y'all. This is what you feed. Look, horsetail is what you feed horses when they getting too skinny, because they've been eating too much hay and too much grass, and then that grass is not very not very nutrition for them. You need to pack some pounds on them, or you need to pack some pounds on your cows to sell them for a very, very healthy price. Feed them horsetail. So if you want to bulk up real good, horsetail. This is in our mother's milk formula, the mother milk that we actually creating for babies, for women that can't breastfeed. And they don't want them on that Inflamil made by the government, which is really killing them and shutting down their kidneys and their liver. Horsetail is the main ingredients. See, these are calcium triphosphate capsules. It's full of horsetail, full of shaved grass. Very good. That's what I got in here, y'all. I got plantain leaf, blood root, chaparral, cat's claw, burdock root, oak bark, shaved grass, horsetail. Very good. Then this is the tincture, which got other different things in them. But this is what's going to help bulk you up. So whenever you want to bulk up and you want an all plant-based diet, but you want to keep your weight and you want to turn that stuff into muscle and you want to break down them tissues and build them back up with real good muscle, that's what horsetail is used for. But it has to be combined with many other herbs, though. You know what I'm saying? Especially from the human body. But the horse can eat horsetail mixed with some grass and hay and let a horse kick you. You might die from it. You see what I'm saying? So let a cow sit on you. And that 2-ton cow sit on you. You might suffocate to death. And all they eat is this type of stuff. So they'll let you know how good horsetail is. All right, who else we got? That's what I'm talking about, Kenyatta. Kenyatta Odin got a very, very, very good important question. How to open kidneys successfully. Ain't nobody asked me that. Do you realize that? That's one of the best questions that anybody can ask. The best way to open up the kidneys is an all-fruit diet. You have to hydrate. All right, because that hydration breaks up the proteins and systemic acidosis that's shoved up in them kidneys. All right. Now you open up them kidneys by turning on the adrenal glands, because the adrenal glands are the pump for the kidneys. So the main thing that we use to open up our kidneys is our adrenal support. Go get the brain adrenal support. The brain nerve. I'm gonna show you that our brain nerve and adrenal support. And what we do is we turn on the pump. So once the adrenal glands are turned on, it actually sends melanin neurotransmitters to the kidneys and give it its genetic code to tell it to pump. It wake it up. Now, if the kidneys are backed up interstitially, you have to break up that agglomeration. Well, we use the H3O, not the H2O, which is water. We need more than water. We're going to need fruits. Fruits have more water in it than actual water, y'all. And it's full of flavonoids and it's full of tannins, curcumins, and all other type of healing modalities and chemicals that's naturally occurs inside of this fruit. So we'll put you on an all fruit juice fast. These are good because it's going to hydrate the body and it's going to go to them kidneys and it's just going to break things up. Now, once it break things up, you have a pathway of elimination. Remember, the interstitial fluids, the interstitial fluid in your body is a pathway for all of the metabolic waste that your cells produce just from breathing. That your cells produce. This is a pathway to get all of this acidosis, this systemic acids, to the lymph nodes. The lymph nodes have macrophages and bacteria, biobifiidal bacteria inside them, which my 3 bitters have a lot of, and it eats down this cellular waste more. That way the kidneys can process it and filter it out. Well, the only way the kidneys can filter anything is by way of the adrenal glands, because the adrenal glands is literally the electrical nervous system pump that pumps the kidneys and make the kidney filtrate. All right. It's all about the adrenal glands because that is in control of your autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system and the central nervous system work as one, work together, y'all. So we have to keep that in mind. So if you truly want them kidneys to filtrate successfully, you have to make sure that you're paying attention to the adrenal glands. What feeds the adrenal glands is electrical alkaline foods, not grains, not vegetables, but yep, y'all guess right, the fruits, the pari hagaphane in Hebrew, pari hagaphane, a fruit of the vine. All right, now check this out. This is we've been turning on kidney filtration with this. My brain, nerve, and adrenal support. This is the actual tincture. All right, these are the capsules. This is what y'all need. This was my intercellular cleanse. This is for the adrenal glands. My intercellular cleanse are directly to aggressively regenerate the kidneys. And that's the key to healing adrenals and kidneys and moving and filtrating their lymphatic system. If you want to check your kidney production, your kidney filtration production, all you have to do is stop eating everything. I'm talking about food and water. Don't drink no water. Stop that about 6 hours before you go to sleep. At the moment you wake up, get you a glass jar and urinate in that glass jar. Let that glass jar sit for 16 hours and look at it when it's done. If you see cloudy white settlement, that means them kidneys are up and running, them adrenals are working. If you see bubbles, that means you have too much protein inside of your urine. If you see clear water, that means your kidneys are failing, period. Your piece never supposed to be clear. You drink a bottle of water, then go to the bathroom. If you haven't drunk no water all day and you pissing and it's clear as water, that means your kidneys are not functioning properly at all. Because every time you urine, you're supposed to be literally eliminating metabolic waste, cellular waste, glomulations, acids, bacteria, dead cells, toxicity. That's supposed to be coming through. That's why your urine is always slightly acidic, because you're getting rid of acids. But people talking about drinking their urine. Huh? Why in the hell would you drink acid? Huh? Don't make no sense. All right, but that's how you do it. So best way, all fruit diet, Kenyatta. Most definitely get my my kidneys and adrenal kit. It's on the website under kits and bundles. Go after them kidneys, go after them hard, and talk to your kidneys. Remember, your kidneys are made of amino acids. Amino acids are made of little bitty electronic cells, protons, electrons, neutrons. These are quantum. Quantum just means spirit or energy. So you're literally a movement built of physical matter, but physical matter is built off of mind. The mind, look, the body don't create the mind creates the body. That's why if it don't mind, it don't matter. Mind produces matter. The reason why your mind produces the body, because the mind wanted to experience its own creation. For that, you have a body. So you can actually talk to your mind and talk to your kidneys and tell your kidneys, I need you to filtrate. Imagine your kidneys actually filtrating your lymphatic waste. Imagine your cells dumping its waste into your lymphatic vessels, interstitial fluids, being carried to your lymph node. Imagine that and talk to your body, talk to your organs, because it's spiritual, it's a part of you. It's all created by the mind. This is an illusion. Talk to them and get these things working and filtering. Be positive. Make sure your relationship is good. Make sure you're giving away love and energy. Give back to the homeless. Gratitude and gratification and giving is very good healing. Give yourself. See that? Forgive others that wronged you, because you can't even heal without forgiving. See that? This is 80% mental, spiritual, 20% herb, botanicals, and changing your diet, because the mind, the spirit created the body. We have to truly understand that. But that's how you do it. So intercellular cleanse and brain and support. And on the site, if you want to get them all together, it is called the Kidney and Adrenal Kit. It's under kits and bundles right up under the shop tab. I hope I answered that for you correctly, sister. All right, who else we got? Sierra Rebecca. It says, I struggle with severe anemia, iron phosphate off back. Whenever you're dealing with severe anemia, you're dealing with iron phosphate. All right. Whenever you're dealing with anemia and iron phosphate deficiencies, there's things that strip your body of this iron phosphate. All right. Now, look, this is crazy. Y'all. Let me show you how deep the adrenal glands is. What utilizes iron phosphate in the body? What's the glands that control iron phosphate utilization? Anybody? What's the gland in the body? The glands in the body that controls iron phosphate utilization, y'all. Who we got? Who gonna answer this correctly? What is the gland in the body? The gland, plural, in the body that utilizes iron phosphate, that send iron to the blood system. Anybody? Nope, it's not the thyroid, Tamika. It's not the thyroid. What is it? It's just two glands. They shape like pyramids. They the size of walnuts. You want to take a crack at it? They sit on top of, there you go. There y'all go. The adrenal glands. The adrenal glands, family. So if Sierra, since you're struggling from this, I can tell you right off back that you have your adrenals is down. Check your blood pressure. Check your blood pressure. That top number is systolic. That's your adrenal glands. That bottom number is diastolic. That's the kidneys. That's your renal. You see? So if you're not utilizing, because steroids and hormones is what pushes the iron phosphate to the globin. Put it inside the hemoglobin and put it inside of that blood capsule. And then what happens is iron is the only electric magnetic mineral known in existence of mankind that's in our bodies. See, iron phosphate is the black man, or what we call the brown man chemistry. That's ours. When you go to the Caucasians, theirs is zinc, calcium, and things like that. When you go to the Asians, theirs is a different mineral. But our mineral is iron phosphate, because we're the most highly electrical people on planet Earth, because we're the most closest to God. You see that? Because we're original prokaryotic cells here on Earth. We're not eukaryotic cells. So you need iron phosphate. Now, what iron is the only electromagnetic mineral, meaning that once you get iron phosphate inside of the bloodstream, due to the steroid hormones that's produced by the adrenal glands, every other every other trace mineral, which is zinc, selenium, calcium, all these different trace, gold, copper, all the minerals you need, it actually attaches to this mineral. And then what happens is the hemoglobin rises through the bloodstream and it dumps all the each cell needs. And that's the beautiful thing about the body. The blood is like the highway. Iron phosphate is like literally the transit station. That's the train. And inside of the train, which is the iron phosphate, you have calcium, selenium, magnesium, just a little bit amount of phosphorus, zinc, copper, gold. And then the cells move through the nervous system and they reach out to the autonomic nervous system, which is the adrenals. And I'm like, hey, we need some iron over here. We need more oxygen, because iron is the only thing that carries the oxygen molecule throughout the blood. Well, the life is in the blood. The life is the ruach or the nushama, which makes the nefesh, which is the soul. All this is by way of the iron. You see that? So look, this crazy how it works, because your cells have nerve endings in them and they holler at the autonomic nervous system, which is the adrenal glands. They be like, hey man, we need calcium over here. You see that? I see some inflammation setting up. We need calcium. Hey, we need some magnesium over here. I see some blood clots. We need to break all that, bring magnesium. Iron, your iron is very, very, very important. What you need is my iron phosphate, and you need to get your adrenal glands up and running, because that's what utilize your iron. But we have to make sure that you're properly digesting, you're properly absorbing the iron phosphate. You must have absorption problems, and your absorption problems are always going to be in the duodenum, that small intestines, that first intestinal bowel duct, and that's where your blood capillaries at, and that's what take all these phytonutrients and dump them off into the blood, and it goes on this long journey to be fed to the body. So you have absorption problems. Now, once you fix your absorption problems, we can fix your utilization problem. Once you absorb the iron, now your adrenal glands can utilize the iron properly, and then you will have proper nation, because iron in the kidneys and the adrenals utilizing this iron is always going to have a byproduct, and every byproduct in nature usually is acids. Now you have some byproducts that or leave out alkaline ash, and that's fruits, berries, and melons, and a few greens. But everything else in nature, that the byproduct of it leaves a acidic ash behind. And that's where you need the proper elimination. We always have to focus on digestion, absorption, utilization, and elimination, y'all, period. All right, it says, and my doctors want to put me on birth control to turn off my period for a year. No. Not only no, but hell no. Because once they put you on that birth control that is full of estrogen, you're going to develop fibroid system. Mark my words. If you let them put you on that birth control, especially with that low iron, and guess what fibroids does? Fibroids suck the iron out of the body anyway. You don't need that much estrogen. Estrogen binds to iron and bring it out of the body. That's why soy is so bad, because soy is full of iron, and soy literally sucks the hemoglobin from your cells like a damn zygote. Or all a zygote is French word for parasitic. That's how herpes act. That's how the hemorrhoid act. That's how the T4 parasitic act with HIV and cancer and leukemia. It burrows itself inside of the cell and it eats all the iron in the hemoglobin. The blood cell collapse. Now you can't produce red blood. So do not let them put you on no birth control at all. What you need to do is heal your body in a detoxification way. Detoxification and regeneration is what we need, not treatments from no damn doctors. Detoxification equals regeneration. All right. We in the business of resurrecting the body, resurrecting the cellular structure by way of electricity. You see that? By way of electricity, or what we call electrolytes or electrons. This is a alkalinity environment. This have nothing to do with systemic acidosis. That kills things, that binds things together, that make things hard. It calcifies the pineal gland, your spiritual antenna to your God. It strips the melanin from your blood. So no, don't let them do that to you. So yeah, sister, make sure you sign up to the site, Sarah, Rebecca, and man, get at us. Get at to help you out. I would all right. Lee G. Good said anemia, iron phosphate. What utilizes iron phosphate? I just said that, Queen. You just, and I think I'm saying your name right. Lee Angie Good. And I just answered your question. So what utilizes iron phosphate will be your adrenal glands, queen. Your adrenal glands. All right, what else we got? What else we got? All right. Abu Musa Midrik Al-Kabir says, Shalom. I know this is a sister show, but brother, I am still awaiting for you to contact me to give me my pancreatic tumor protocol. Do you only help Hebrews? I've been waiting to join the health club. No, I don't only help Hebrews. I help my people, period. Whether you believe you're a Hebrew or not Hebrew. So I help all of our people. Somewhere inside the system must be a miscommunication. We respond back to everybody. I don't respond back to inboxes, so don't inbox me. I won't look at it. It's thousands of inboxes. I don't respond back to Instagram, and I don't respond back to Twitter. None of that. What I respond back to is people going to the website. That's what we respond back to. So if you're on a website and you use your actual government name, you should have been helped. If not, my apologies. I'll get on it. But we help out everybody. Don't nobody go miss on our website if they follow the instructions that we gave them. So you need to sign back up on your website and then holler at me. Make sure you don't sign up with this name because I won't be able to accept you. You need your government name and a readable signature. And if you got pancreatic tumors, brother, we need to get on that. We need to get them tumors up out of you, brother. And forgive me if there's any miscommunication on my end or on my staff end. So you should do that now, bro. All right, what's another one? What is good to take for folic acid while pregnant? That's a good question. Slippery elm bark. Slippery elm, inner bark. That's a little bit. Matter of fact, you don't need the slippery elm bark because it's gonna make you go to the bathroom a lot. I'm gonna say marshmallow root. You need to get some marshmallow root, and put a little bit of agave nectar in there and just sip on that throughout the day. That'll help you out a whole lot, especially with that folic acid. So that's what you need, sister. That's exactly what you need. But I can't get into the website. If you can't get into the website, brother, that means you signing up wrong. Try under a new email, brother. Try under a new email. All right, Tierra Love. It says, how do you get rid of irritable bowel syndrome? Irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease. We've been healing that for a while. Our irritable bowel syndrome is a malabsorption problem due to proteins. That means you have a lot of protein. Sister, I bet you if you wake up in the morning, you urinate in a glass drawer, you're going to see a lot of bubbles. You're going to see a lot of bubbles. First thing you have to do, sister, is rid your body of all the proteins. Get off all meats for right now. All meats for right now. And you most definitely going to need my digestive kit. You need to get my gut restoration, tonic, to get my GI super mover capsules, and always open up them adrenals and them kidneys. So what I suggest you do for real is get you a small amino acid therapeutic protocol from off my website. That'll help you out a lot. And switch to fruits and vegetables. While you got irritable bowel syndrome, you kind of don't want to go full fruits because it's going to have you on the bathroom a lot, and you don't want to inflame that. Well, it'll calm that colon down a lot for real, and get you on some marshmallow roots to calm everything and to cool everything down. Some simply that'll be good for you to calm everything and cool all that systemic acidosis down and get rid of them proteins. And that means your hydrochloric acid is probably skyrocketing too. And that cardiac sphincter where your stomach is, that door, it's probably not even working correctly. So we gonna have to just regenerate your whole digestive system and digestive process. So you're gonna need a simple amino acid therapeutic protocol week 1 and 2 with a alkaline diet. I'm gonna say fruits, berries, melons, and greens. I wouldn't go all fruit until we get that bowels calm down. Then it's gonna go all fruits to clean up the rest of it. So that's what I suggest. All right, what else we got? All right, we got Queen JJ. Shalom. What about HPVs? That's the Papillonian virus. What causes warts? Can it cause outbreaks? Yes, it can. It will cause outbreaks. They kind of look like herpes, and you're actually dealing with a parasitic. But you're not dealing with the hemorrhage worm. You're dealing with a cousin of the hemorrhage worm. And these canker sores are not canker sores. They're actually what they're dealing with. but you most definitely can get rid of this stuff. We done healed so many HPV cases. It's crazy. So just holler at me. You most definitely need to stay away from the protein, stay away from the arginine, get more on lysine foods, get more of that lysine in you. Make sure you get more of the progesterone in you. Like I said, we have the chase berries, we have the nopal cactus, the angle cactus, the bearberry tree root. It's so many herbs that comes inside of my amino acid pack that will aid that body, really cleanse that body and get that parasite and that protein out of your body. The same way we treat herpes is the same way we treat HPV, because you're dealing with a glycoprotein and you're dealing with a devil hemith worm. That's what you're dealing with. Well, in this case, it's not a hemith worm because it's not from the zoster family, but they cousins though. They cousins though. So yes, it most definitely can cause outbreaks, but them outbreaks are not canker sores. They're small little bitty warts. That's what they are. So I hope I helped you out, Queen. You need any help at all, just reach me on and staff or myself will help you out, and we can help you on your healing journey. Create a protocol for you. All right, what time we got? All right, I think I answered a lot of questions, y'all. I'm finna get up out of here. I love y'all indeed and in truth. Forgive me if I wasn't able to answer all y'all questions. It's a lot of people that need help here. While we building the things we building, we got a very good surprise for y'all coming very, very soon. Y'all gonna love it. I don't want to spoil it right now. But yeah, work is most definitely being done. People are being healed. People are finally taking their health back and being more conscious of what's going on inside this evil matrix of a world, and it's beautiful. My women, my beautiful sisters, make sure y'all paying close attention to your reproductive system. That's what make you who you are, and that was the main reason why you were created here on this earth, is to bring forth a king, a God seed, and to multiply more messiahs in this earth. So y'all really have to pay a lot of attention to that, a lot of attention. And if you haven't chosen first 6, could be from pelvic and inflammatory things. All this goes back to what I was talking about with that estrogen, the testosterone, and the progesterone. So just make sure y'all paying attention to that. Stay up on your health. Make sure you stay up on your vaginal health. Make sure you keep it clean, stay clean. Make sure you eat healthy, and you are what you eat, and you taste like what you eat too. So keep that in mind as well, sisters. I love y'all. I love my brothers indeed in truth. Most high willing, I'll be back at y'all next Tuesday. Shalom, shalom.